Hello, Den leaders. This is Alex Maurer, your assistant Cub Master for Pack 34. Welcome to Scoutbook for Den leaders, Part 1, Getting to Know Scoutbook. These are small training videos that are designed to help you get familiar with the new Scoutbook environment that we're using for pack management. This tool is started as a third-party app that the BSA bought and is quickly becoming the industry, or rather the BSA official record management system for troops and packs. So this training session is designed to walk you through the system. So basically, I'm going to just show you around in this video and invite you in and show you how to get around the environment and to see what some of the tools are that are available to you. Okay, over the course of the summer, I've been doing a bunch of updates to the website. Just to start off, under upcoming events, you see we have a quick little drop down to show you upcoming events as you're coming, like just a quick peek at upcoming events. And then when you actually go into the page, you see a new calendar view of the pack website. And you notice that this is Pack 34 Scoutbook. So this calendar is coming out of Scoutbook, and this is not the old calendar that was part of the Gmail suite. And so I'm adding events and calendar items from within Scoutbook, and then that's feeding out into this calendar here. You also have opportunities to get to the calendars from the calendar setup. So again, this, if you click on this one from Web Access, this will take you into just, the straight up web version of the calendar. And again, it's Pack 34. So that is coming out of Scoutbook. If you go into Tiger or any of the dens, these are the specific calendars for the dens, and this can be used by the den leaders for those specific dens. You can add stuff to your calendars from within Scoutbook. It is not accessible from outside, so if you try to add a calendar item from a Google ICS or something like that, it's not going to work. You're going to have to add the event. And the idea is Scoutbook is an all-inclusive system that allows us to schedule and plan and communicate and advance and all sorts, everything we need to do with the pack. Okay. And then these iCal links are also set up to drop the Scoutbook calendars into your own calendar tools. Okay. Now then, also what has changed is I've added a Scoutbook link right from the website. So if you come over to this last menu item and you click in here, you'll see you'll have access right through the website. So you don't have to really remember anything else other than our website address. And then below the access, this is where I'm putting all the video guides. So I've done a parent's guide so far, and this is where you'll find den leader videos. Okay, so just taking a peek at the environment without having logged in. This is the top level of the navigation. This shows you all the information for the Scoutbook company. So again, this was a third-party product that the BSA bought, and all of these links here pertain to the top level of the developer groups and the different user groups, right? So blog is going to show you, different blog items that are coming out of the BSA. News, videos, forums. Forums are really great. You can do you can find all sorts of information in here, specifically using Scoutbook. So if you get lost, you can poke through these forums and ask questions and get answers. It's been very helpful. All right, let's log in. So I am going to log in as a den leader. So let me find my den leader email address and I will log in. So again, the first screen you come into is the main top level with all the Scoutbook level information. And then added to that, now that I'm logged in, is my dashboard, which gets me into our pack system. So if I go into the dashboard as a den leader, I'm presented with some handy, right out of the gate, tools for me to get started on doing whatever I'm going to do. So at the top, I can administer the den information. I can go into my own personal account and update it and add information. And then I also, right from the top level, see all the boys that are in the den. And this access allows me to drill right down into the boys' profile, and I can see all their advancement and, if they've signed up for campouts and what their, hiking logs are looking like and that kind of stuff. And then this little percentage graph shows me how far along they are in their wolf advancement. Okay, so this is designed to show you start to finish how close they are to achieving this year's rank, which is going to be wolf, right? And so same thing with bear, same thing with weeb 1s, weeb 2s. This is going to show their path through the advancement. If I need to add a scout, I can add them down here. If I need to message the families, I can do it down here. I can also manage my calendars down here, and I have access to reports. So because I'm in the wolf den, my calendar is going to be the wolf calendar. So if I add an event to this, this is going to show me anything that is hitting the wolf events. I can add events in the system once I get in there. Same thing with messages. I can send a message, and this gets me into the email section. I'm going to save this for a whole separate training session because there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do, and I've worked in some tricks to it. All right, and then the reports are really handy. So there's lots of great stuff in here that's really going to help us stay organized and just make things a lot easier. In my own experience as an assistant den leader last year, a lot of these tools were things that I could have used, especially the attendance report. I mean, the advancement reports. I felt like I was always chasing emails and Excel spreadsheets, and it's all in here. And so that's going to be a separate training session also because there's a lot to it. But just to sort of give you a sneak peek, we are creating a pretty rigid hierarchy process where parents will have access to Scoutbook and they can manage their child's advancement. And the expectation, and this will hopefully become our standard process when we explain this to parents, that the parents will work with their kids and sign off on their advancement. And then as leaders, we're going to get reports telling us, hey, this kid's parents signed off on it. Go and review it. We're going to review it. That's going to go to our advancement chair, who will be responsible for getting and supplying the den leaders with the appropriate loops for advancements each month. So we're going to set the schedule that whenever your den meetings are scheduled, that the week prior, you're going to make sure that you have a deadline to get those reports done or get that advancement signed off so that our advancement chair has a heads up to go and get the loops and supply them to you. The other things in here, there's trained leader reports. So if you're the den leader and you want to make sure that your assistant den leaders are, working towards training, you can follow that. And then you can, you can build your own reports. So there's lots and lots of great stuff going on in here. So that's the basic. Oops. I got lost there. Here we go. That's the basic environment that you're going to be working in. Now, if you go into one of the Scouts records, this is going to take you into their profile stuff. So I can come in here and take a look at what's going on with this particular Scout. So you see he's got 6% of the Wolf badge accomplished. I can see who the parent is for this person. And then, this stuff is all clickable, so I can get in here and I can take a look at it and I can see what sort of access the parent has. You can get information about the parent, email addresses, that kind of stuff. Now, every parent is going to be tied to a child, and the parent's email address is going to be the main communication. And so if you are going to communicate through Scoutbook using the messaging tool, you can actually connect to all of the parents at once by selecting one contact in there. And I'll explain that in another video. But if you're looking at the Scouts information, you see you can get into their profile, check out their information, update it as needed. The parents can also access this profile and update it. We're really going to lean heavily on the parents to help us manage the data of the pack, and specifically their own child. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Well, we're hoping that parents will take a bite too. Let's see what else. So the big thing down here are the advancement and award links and training links. As the kids get older and they start doing more training activities, you can record all this stuff, and this becomes a complete record of their advancement all the way through to Eagle. So providing the Scout troop that they're going to when they are eligible to go to Scouts has Scoutbook. All of this stuff will follow. This advancement all connects up to the BSA national database through ScoutNet. And so once I get a connection to ScoutNet, I'm going to pull everybody's advancement in. That's on the books through national. We can also use that for leaders and connect up to their training. There's a little button, you click it, pulls all your training right in and follows your profile along. So this is where the management of the Scouts happen. Probably most of what we're going to be doing is working within the advancement area. All right, if I go back and I'm going to go to Den 1. So if I drill in, let me go back here just so you see what I'm doing. This is the main page of the pack. And the way that I got to this is, I'll start over. I go to my dashboard. Remember, you're presented with a quick access into your Den Scouts. But you can also go into the main pack information, which is right here. And then once you get in there, you are presented with some handy information. So you get some overall information about the den, how many leaders, how many scouts, what percent of leader training is done, that kind of stuff. You see your upcoming events, so it's showing you, the 4 next events that are, coming due. And the reason that these are all duplicates is that this is showing everything from all the calendars. If I click into the upcoming event header, it gets me right into the calendar, and so I can see the calendar view of what's going on. And this is only showing me pack and den. Okay, so this is our calendar for wolf, and I can add to it. It's also showing me all the pack stuff, so I can see exactly what's going on. If I want to move through, I can start plugging through and seeing the different events that we have scheduled already for the 17-18 scouting year. If I want to add an event, I can do it down here, and I'll do that in another video. And then down below you can see all the upcoming events laid out for us to get a sense of what's on the horizon. Okay. If I scroll down, I can get into the wolf roster right here. Now, one thing that's important to point out is that den leaders are entitled to see the profile record of the boys in their dens. So over on the left side are all the leaders, and over on the right side are all the kids. And eventually all the parents will be in here, like you see with Leo. Both his parents are in here. And we can click on that to get to their information. If we're looking for their email address or a phone number or something like that, we can get to it here to try and see their information. Right, so I can scroll in and try and find a phone number. This is essentially that spreadsheet that has gone around forever. But now it's all contained in here. And then we get to move all that pretty easily when the kids change their rank and move up. But one thing I want to point out is that the names are red, right? So as a den leader, I can see Leo's record because it's red. That means I have access to it. If I go back out and I go into another den, which I am not restricted from seeing, I can go in there and see what's going on there, see who the leaders are. But if you notice, the names are black and I can't click in there. I also want to point out that a lot of you guys as den leaders are still in a pending state, which means I've sent you an invite and you haven't responded to it yet. You don't have to do anything. I am going to resend invitations this in the first week before the 17-18 scouting year kicks off officially on September 7th. So keep an eye open for an email coming from Scoutbook asking you to join, because that's going to officially set you up to be a den leader in this system. And then whatever your password is you choose, you're in. You can come in and go. But I am restricted. I can see that the kid is there, but I can't get access into that scout's information. I can only see the scouts that I'm in charge of. Okay, so I'll go back to let me show you down just below. So again, down here we have a whole bunch of, at the pack level, whole bunch of options also. So we can see what the pack roster looks like, which is great, shows everybody. And again, anyone I have access to see is in red, everyone else is in black. And then their parents will see their parents as well. The parents are still getting entered in So that's the roster. I also have reporting that I can do. We have a pack forum. So we can set this up, and incidentally, each den has their own forum. So we can have a pack forum where we talk about pack level stuff, and parents can be a part of it, and it's an ongoing conversation that we can keep going. You also have your own den forum. So if you want to set it up so that you know, den information is getting discussed in the forum, you can do that too. Send messages. So this is at the pack level. I would, as a pack administrator, be able to send an email out to everybody, but only pack administrators have that right. And then we have this quick entry thing, which gives us a couple different options to figure out what we need to do, right? So if I want to enter the ranks, I want to do awards, any service camping logs, hiking logs, we can quickly do that. So if I want to do camping log for the upcoming fall camp out at Tamarancho, I can go down and select everybody. As a pack administrator, I can select everybody who went on that camp out. But more realistically, what I expect to have happen is that the den leaders are going to go into their dens and they're going to say, these are the kids from my den who went camping. And they're going to say these guys and these guys and this guy and this guy and this guy all went camping on this date. And then you can quickly add that. So we keep an ongoing record of what the kids are doing. So that, again, at the end of their scouting life and they've achieved their Eagle Scout, they have a full record of everything they did. They know that they went camping in their Tiger year at Tiger Expedition, and that was the start of it. How awesome is that? Okay, so let me see what else is down there. So you have access to sending messages to your dens and your den parents. Again, email addresses are the parents' emails that are tied to the kids. And so you could come in here and you see that all the parents are selected and all the leaders are selected, right? And so if you can then start compiling your email message and then send that out to all those people. Now, the little trick that I built in here is because we are using the Google G Suite, there is a group, and parents are in that group. And so if you only send your email to your Wolf administrator, that is going to go to the parents, right? So might make it easier. The system does select everybody with the assumption that you're sending an email to everybody when you do that. But if you don't want to send it to individual parents, you can just send it only to Wolf, and it's going to go to everybody who's associated with the den, all parents' emails. So that's a nice little easy trick to make things a little easier. But again, as you can see, everybody's selected. So if you were to send an email to the group, it's right out the bat. It's sending it to them. The people that aren't selected, these are the folks that are, committee members, and basically all of these people that are still white, not yellow, are they are pack and den administrators, right? So they show up. Okay, so that's a quick peek at sending messages. Sorry, my screen is not that big. Went over quick entry. Den reports, really nice. You can do needs approval reports. That's any sort of pending advancement that the parents have done, they've checked off on and put a date on. That's going to show up as now you need to go look at it and approve it. And once you approve it, then it goes to the advancement chair to be able to see it, or into like this purchasing report. And then once it's awarded, we check that off and they're good to go. And then, which is really nice, is you have this option down here with the Wolf Den Advancement Report. So when you click that, it kicks out a really nice formatted report that I tried to recreate in Excel last year. And God, I wish I had this. And here it is. And so as I go through this report and I look at the various options on here, I can see what they've done. Now, this is only going to show which adventures they've completed. So I showed you Shay has 6% of his wolf done, but it's not showing up because he didn't actually finish this yet. He just has like 4% of this particular adventure done. He hasn't completed it yet, and it hasn't been awarded. But, you know, this is going to come into play sort of in the spring as you're getting closer to May, so you can start really getting a bird's eye view of what the kids have done, and it is going to really help you figure out what sort of awards and advancement loops and that kind of stuff that you need to have on hand to hand out. So it's really clean and works really nicely. Okay, that's reports. And then, of course, you can do your roster and just, kick your roster out. And you can select different criteria of stuff that you want on there. And this is going to create a nice den report. So that when I view that, then I get a nice clean canned report that shows me everything I need to know about my roster. So there's lots of great little tools that are built in here that's going to make life a lot easier, I think. Okay, so that's your tour of Scoutbook. Just to reiterate, from the first page, you go to Dashboard. Your first page in Dashboard gives you a high-level view of who's in your den and allows you access into each individual user. If you want to go deep into the pack, then you can go into My Units and then go into your wolf den, or whichever den you're the leader of, and now you are in the area that you're going to be using all the tools in. And at the bottom of your roster are the rest of your tools. Okay? You're going to message if you want to send communication to parents, use the messaging tool. If you want to do quick entry and data updating, use your quick entry tool, or you can go person by person. If you need to print your roster, you need to edit your den, all these tools are down here available to you. All right, that is video 1, Get to Know Scoutbook or Scoutbook Tour. Thanks. See you soon.